Hey everyone, what is going on? So we have some battles that I did and I finally made it into the 2800s. This season has been very difficult for me. I've been going back and forth between the 26 and 2700s for probably at least a month. It's been crazy. It's been really difficult for me, so if you're struggling, don't stress it. I mean, you can stress it. I stressed it, but it's been really tough. We're still not legend yet though. Yeah, it's been really difficult for me. And so this team is going to be Frostless with Double Fighter, Lucario, and Toxicroak. It's not my team, it's my friend Hatred's team. Well, I mean, he was running Driftblim, and that's actually the team I hit legend with in the original Sinnoh Cup with his team. I decided to change it to Frostless though, because I've been seeing a lot of Frostless, and the Driftblim Double Fighters really struggle against Frostless in general, right? But Driftblim could work in place of Frostless. I was also thinking of giving Frostless Crunch, so you can kind of have a better matchup against the Mirror, because you can just go for the Crunch right away, maybe get a debuff. But either way, let's go ahead and dive right into these battles. They bring in Empoleon, we bring in this Toxicroak. Good matchup for us, but of course we lag right now, and we just immediately click on the Mud Bomb. This is definitely going to KO, shields it down. So yeah, that's going to KO the Empoleon. In comes a Drapion, a Shadow One at that, and we're going to be able to get off this Mud Bomb. Now this actually doesn't KO, it comes very close, and they will be able to get off their attack. That was a CMP tie, it looked like. So this is going to KO me, but they're not going to be able to make it to another Aqua Tail. So we're going to be able to just Powder Snow down. And actually a close one. A tough league. Glade is definitely tough as well for this team, because obviously Toxicroak is really weak to Confusion. Lucario is neutral to it, but it's really frail. And then Frostless, still taking a lot. This is a frail team. It's a frail team, right? Really squishy. So, but either way, great game. We're going to go ahead and move into the next battle. Here we go. It looks like we have a battle. So let's see how this game plays out. Going to be that Frostless into Driftblim. So good matchup for us. Usually I wait to see if they try to catch, and a lot of trainers have been trying to catch. There we go, they try to catch. In comes Empoleon, we're going to bring in Toxicroak, and if you switch fast enough, you could CMP tie them to the first move, so you won't have to use a shield, but you do have to switch fast, otherwise they'll get there first. And in comes Driftblim, but the beautiful thing here is Sludge Bomb still does. It would probably do half about where it is now. You know, Sludge Bomb would still do a decent amount, so they really had to throw an attack at us. So that's fine. We go down. We're going to go ahead and go for this Avalanche right now, just to go for the KO. Probably should have waited out the switch time, and maybe, I don't know. Actually, I didn't want to wait it out because I didn't want them to be able to switch out. But we're going to go ahead and shield this. I do expect the Icy Wind, and it is an Icy Wind. It makes sense, but we're still going to go ahead and shield. They're going to bring in Lucario. We're going to go ahead and bring in our own Lucario. I know this is a power-up punch, but we're still going to go ahead and shield it. It is a power-up punch, and my win condition right now is to just... Well, they're not going to get to a move, so it's going to be able to farm down the Driftblim. That's my only win. Not to farm it down. Get to 2 Avalanches. So we do get to 1 Avalanche right now. And they're obviously going to shield this. And I think we CMP on the next one. I think this was a CMP. Because I was counting the moves, and I think I remember it being... I think they had an Icy Wind, which would have KO'd me. So we barely able to win that, but we're going to be able to win it. So great game to my opponent. Well played to them. But let's move on to the next one. Yeah, tough matchup, tough game, but we're going to be able to win it, so very nice. So let's see how the next game plays out. But yeah, Hisui Cup, basically the same as the Sinnoh Cup. I mean, you do have some Hisui Pokemon in them, and some of them are good. Sneasler, I think, is pretty good in this meta. We have another Driftblim, so we're going to play it out the same way. We're not going to throw immediately. We do not want them to catch an Avalanche. And this trainer does not go for the catch. They go for 5, so they're at 5, they're at the move. I'm going to go ahead and throw my Avalanche, which will get the shield. Now, most trainers do bait. It's still worth the shield. I mean, you're still going to KO them with an Avalanche, but this trainer actually does not bait. I was actually really surprised about that. And they try to catch there into Lucario, so we could bring in Toxicroak right now. Now, the thing is that they just got 1 more counter through. That got them to a Shadow Ball, so I do have to throw this, otherwise I would have had the shield. They would have been able to get off a Shadow Ball if I didn't. And again, I think they're in Sludge Bomb range. If they're not, a couple counters away. So we're going to be able to, you know, they're not going to be able to farm us down, which is beautiful. So we're going to charge up a little bit of energy. I remember losing count at this point on the Driftblim, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw. Probably could have went for another one, but either way, that's fine. In comes Empoleon. And at this point, we're looking really good because we know this is going to get the shield. And we know with our Lucario, we're going to be able to get to a close combat. So they do farm us down. They are ahead on energy, but that's totally fine. We're going to be able to get to this close combat. They do get off a move. We're going to go ahead and shield it right now. going to be that Hydro Cannon. That's totally fine. And we do get off a close combat, and this is going to KO, and that is going to be a great game to my opponent. Very well played to them. This team, for the record, whether you do the Frostless lead or the Driftblim lead, it does struggle against Empoleon Double Ghost, which is a common team. I think I battled it once this rotation so far in the History Cup, and I did lose to it. I did beat it once back in the Sinnoh Cup, I remember, but it is very difficult to beat because your fighting attacks are resisted. Okay, so moving on, Abomasnow. So, of course, we have two answers to it. We have two fighting types in the back, but I'm kind of hoping they switch out, so I'm not switching out quite yet. We are going to throw in the CMP tie. We're going to throw in the Energy Ball. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this. Or not shield, I'm going to throw. They do shield it, and I do go ahead and shield this. Hoping they don't bait, and they don't. It's going to be an Energy Ball, so that's good. And they do switch out, which is actually good. So now I'm going to bring in Lucario. So I know, obviously, I'm going to get to the close combat. They do throw a move, but it's not going to KO. And I don't anticipate the shield, because a lot of Lucarios do run Power Up Punch. So I'm going to be able to throw the close combat right now. Could have went a little bit more, probably. Farmed up a little bit more energy, but that's okay. And they don't shield it, which is nice. In comes Roserade. Very spicy. Okay. So the beautiful thing is that Roserade is really squishy, and Lucario is really strong, so we're going to be able to get to a close combat, and that's just going to KO it. And now I knew I won because we had a Toxic Hook, and that is going to be a great game to my opponent. Well played. Really cool to see that Roserade. I think I had battled that in the original Sinnoh Cup as well. And it does technically resist fighting attacks, even though it is really frail, so I don't think it's bad at all. But good game to my opponent. Let's move on to the final game. I think so. I think it's the final game. Frostless into Gastrodon. So we are running the Driftblim variant. This is obviously a much better matchup with the Driftblim, but it's still not that bad with Frostless because the body slams are going to be resisted, right? Or double resisted. So we're going to go ahead and shield this. It's going to be a flamethrower, and once I saw a flamethrower, I knew I could farm down. They almost get to the move. I think they needed one more. Either one more, they just got to it. I think they needed one more, but either way, we do farm down that Skunk Tank. We have loaded energy. If the Gastrodon comes in, they're going to take a close combat to the face or double shield. We'll see what they decide to do. We throw the close combat. They do let it go. We throw another one. Could I have farmed down from that range? I mean, no, because they actually shield that, which is amazing for us. So we threw the close combat, and now we can bring in the beautiful Frostless. Wait, at the switch time, and they bring in this Drapion. We're going to go ahead and throw this attack right now, this Avalanche, just to get the final shield, and then we could switch into Toxicroak, and this is going to be a good game, and my opponent is actually going to concede there. So we're actually going to be able to win that. So double Duck Poison in the back. I do like that team. To be honest, I think it's a pretty solid team, and that is going to be a beautiful 5-0, and we're going to be able to pick up a Lickitung, which is always nice. We're trying to get XL candies for it. If the Lickitung can chill out and hang out for a little bit, it can stay inside the Ultra Ball, and we're going to be able to catch it. Very nice. And that will put us at 28-32, so we are moving on up closer to Legend. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.